Wholesaling in 2025 was a bit of a rough year, but we do not want to carry this loss into the new year. So I'm going to share with you our exact playbook as to how we're going to succeed and dominate our markets in 2026. So with that said, I want to catch you up to speed. Over the last few years, marketing for motivated sellers has had many iterations and variations throughout the years. So let's talk about marketing channels itself. It all started with cold calling, right? You would scrape a list, scrub the data, and just cold call until your fingers fall off. You either do that or you would text blast people and reply to interested responses. Then it would step up into hiring cold calling agencies or a VA to delegate this mundane heavy lifting for you. Then after that, you're going from outbound to inbound. So this is when people start discovering Facebook ads, where you can put an ad on a platform like Meta, which is Facebook or Instagram, to get sellers to reach out to you, telling you why they want to sell their house, giving you the advantage whenever you're trying to close the deal. On top of that, you can also do YouTube and TikTok ads. In my personal opinion, these are just some channels that marketers came up with because they wanted to innovate and have shiny object syndrome. But the final thing is TV ads as well as Google PPC. So to me, these 5 channels are what I would consider the standard of wholesale lead gen. But the challenge is the markets are changing, sellers are getting way more sophisticated, advertising cost is rising, and competition is an absolute bloodbath. So in this video, I want to share 3 main things. So the first thing I want to share is why direct-to-seller marketing itself is not enough to succeed going into the new year. The second thing is the marketing supplement, not alternative, the marketing supplement that we're going to use to elevate and boost the performance of our marketing campaigns. And the third thing is what I would consider to be the next meta for wholesaling lead generation, that way you, the wholesaler, can dominate your market. So with that said, let's go to the iPad and talk about why direct-to-seller marketing alone is not enough to succeed going to 2026. The simple answer is seller sophistication, as well as lack of seller education. What I mean by this is that sellers are getting smarter and smarter. They know they have options. You're not going to be the only guy out there that has a Facebook ad or a Google ad with a beautiful landing page, right? On top of that, they are not as aware as they need to be in the sense of what the problem they're going through could have on their family, as well as what other solutions are there. I'll give you a perfect example for solution awareness. Sellers only think that you can wholesale and purchase their property as is for cash, which is a wholesale deal. They might not know that you can also do novations as well as creative finance deals. And this is where it comes down to actually educating a prospect and making them solution aware, as opposed to just giving them a one-size-fits-all approach. On top of that, because there are more wholesalers and competition, most people are repeating the same script, right? So you can have the exact marketing and direct-to-seller marketing figured out, but if your sales script sounds like everybody else and they hear that, it's going to turn them off, which is also why I believe sellers are getting more sophisticated and they don't trust wholesalers as much, or investors in general. The second thing is that agencies are copying the same ads. If you look on Facebook or Google right now, a lot of people that are running ads, especially wholesalers, they're very similar to each other. They're direct copy and paste. So whenever a seller sees that, they're going to be like, oh, these are all the same companies, giving them options, which is not something that we want. Third thing is, from what I've noticed, hedge funds and institutional investors are entering the space and they have a lot of money to spend. It's really hard to compete against somebody that's spending $100,000 to $300,000 per month in just marketing. Because of that, there's less supply of sellers and then there's more demand. As a result, this increases price. It's simple supply and demand economics 101. So the challenge about this business then becomes who can bid the highest for the same amount of lead. And at the end of the day, you will lose that battle because it's really hard for us traditional investors to compete against somebody doing $300,000 per month in ad spend, just blanketing the entire market, right? But the only person that does win in this is the platforms. You're paying them, everybody's paying them. They don't really care if we're getting deals or not. They're going to get paid either way, right? And the proof behind this is from the Edelman Trust Barometer, which states that in the last 40 years, person-to-person trust is at an all-time low over the last 40 years. So the question then becomes, how do we build trust with sellers, become market leaders, and diversify our lead flow? And the answer to that is going to be the marketing supplement that we use right now and are implementing to our clients' businesses to dominate with our current marketing efforts. So let's dive into that. But one thing I want to make very clear is that we're not stopping ads at all. ads is our bread and butter. It's our cash cow. It's the thing that keeps the lights on and the bills paid, right? So we're definitely not going to turn that off. But the one thing that is going to help us is the branding. And I'll tell you what I define as brand and how we've used it. So the way branding is defined is basically positive or negative associations between two subjects you know or you don't know. So that's a pretty broad definition, but let's apply it to what we do as a wholesaler. For us, we want to position our brand as a solution provider. We want it to where whenever a seller comes in and submits a form on our landing page, they know that we are going to provide a solution to help them get out of their pain point or their situation. The second thing we want to be known for, our brand, our association, is being able to fulfill on our contractual obligations and close on properties. For example, if you get a property under contract, we want you to make sure that you get that deal to the closing table. Otherwise, it gives false hope for everybody, and it's not a good way to maintain your reputation. And third thing is experienced professionals who are respectful, transparent, and honest. If you have acquisition managers that are salesy, that are pushy, that will just hard close people, sellers are going to back out, and it's not going to leave a good taste in their mouth, right? So that's what we want to be known for, and we want to be our brand and our reputation. So with that said, the easiest way to start with our brand is our website, also known as an online billboard, because it's technically what it is. So I want to walk you over just a little template, a simple template that we have that you can take, send it to your team, and start creating yourself, right? So if we zoom in right here, this is going to be page number 1. And then over here is also bottom of page 1. Right, so I just make it like that. That way you can see because the alignment is too long, whatever. So on the top right here, we have the hero. It's a little blurry, but it says how it works. Let's use red. The benefits of working with someone like you, a home buyer and investor who can solve problems. FAQs, frequently asked questions. For example, you can put your do you have to pay any commission costs or realtor fees? The answer to that is no. So that could be like a frequently asked question, right? Do you only do cash offers? No, you can do creative finance, you do novations, whatever the case is. You can add that in there. Reviews and testimonials, you could also do that. Another big thing here is a website, right? So not the website, the phone number, right? Most of these people are a lot older. The sellers are a lot older. So they are probably not going to be well versed in email. They might not even know how to text, but they do know how to call, right? So they see a number, they write it down somewhere, and they probably just call you. But the way we have it set up, they click this button, they just click the phone number, then they can call. Second thing right here, the final thing right here is the get cash offer button, right? It's very simple. It's a call to action button. They click it, they get redirected to a form, which is basically this thing right here, right? And they fill it out. So let's talk about the actual questions and what I would consider the top of fold. So the top of fold is everything before you scroll, right? So it's right here, everything right here, right? So this red line and above, this is the top of fold before they scroll. So to me, this headline right here is one of the most important parts of the entire page. It sets the stage for the user experience on your website. There's a few ways you could do this, right? Obviously, this is not edited, but typically we would have America. So you can, if you're virtual, you could do just America, or if you're local, you could do like Florida or like Texas, most trusted home buyers, whatever the case is. Here, I like to target specific motivations and pain points. So we have it set up to where once the website's actually finished, it can change, right? It's like an animation. It can say like stop foreclosure. It could say like take over mortgage payments. It could be like relocate now, things like that, and get cash within 24 hours or less, something like that, right? So this is just the headline that sets the stage. Then on the bottom here, this white thing is our form, right? So we keep it low friction. And the way we do that is the first thing is an address, right? So we want them to put in their address, but this field also has a Google autofill. So what this does is it makes sure the numbers and the location that they're putting in the address is actually correct. And then there's no typos. Those are the most frustrating things because you can have the exact same address and it'd be two different properties. Super annoying. But from there, once you click get cash offer, it pushes all this information to another page where we get the motivation timeline, property info, asking price. Is a property listed? What are they asking for, asking price wise? Are they flexible on their asking price? Things like that. So this is what an initial top of funnel, above the fold looks like. If we go under this, this is just what I would consider a status bar. So how many properties you've worked on, how many years you've been in this, how much have you paid out, or how many, deal volume, right? So total real estate deals you guys have sold, bought, whatever the case is, and then ratings, right? These are my favorite. This is what I see works best. We scroll down a little bit, and this is where seller education comes in. So we talk about problem awareness, right? The problems that there's scams, there's empty promises everywhere. Buyers will ghost you, lowball offers, hidden fees, and more stress, right? So that's problem awareness. So we'll put that PA. Down here is solution awareness, right? So the safe and reliable way to sell your house fast, no hassles, right? Already helped hundreds of people, social proof, we buy as is, no extra closing costs. You walk away confident and paid, which is basically what they care about. Because you'll notice that most of these sellers, they obviously want money and the most they can, but more importantly, they want to make sure this deal actually closes. Especially if they had another wholesaler in the past, another cash buyer in the past, back out on them, leaving them hopeless. And finally, you're left in the dark. You're never left in the dark. We'll guide you throughout the entire way. Obviously, by the way, these pictures, they're just stock, right? So replace them with your own pictures if you have any, right? Here is a simple process breakdown. I just call it a demo just for easier understanding on our end. You can tailor this however you want. Quick form, phone call, fast close, right? Each one of these they click, or it can be an animation. Just do it however you want, whatever makes you happy. I don't really care, right? Change these pictures to pictures in your market, right? If you're in Florida, put up a picture of a property that looks like you've closed on, right? So you don't have to use stock images. These are just here for the sake of this video. Now, again, more solution awareness. The one thing I want to highlight is that whenever we're selling B2B, so business to business, you want to go through pain-based selling, right? You want to sell to another business owner off of their pain. But if you're going through a consumer, B2C, it's solutions-based syntax. What this means simplified is that whenever you're selling to a homeowner, a consumer, you want to sell them on the solution more than the pain. You use pain to get to the solution, but from my experience, what really gets them to buy is the solution. It's just the way it works, right? So you talk about no repairs, fast closings, no hidden fees, any situation, guaranteed cash offer, nationwide service, if this is something that you do, right? It could be like Florida-wide service or statewide service, whatever it makes you happy. Down here, obviously, put your pictures, reviews, testimonials, whatever you have. So this entire section right here, I don't know why I did that. So this entire section right here, put all your reviews. You can also put pictures, deals you've done in the past, but don't do it in a way where you're sharing how much money you made on the deal. That would not be a good idea because sellers don't want to see that, or sellers don't need to see that, I should say. Put how you help the seller, the situation with each seller. Think of it as like a case study or a journey, right? I guess case study, client journey is a better way to explain it. So that's just the beginning. The second part, or scrolling down even further, is solution awareness in the sense where alternative options, right? So you want to talk about why they should work with you versus someone like a realtor, someone like another cash buyer. You can make this how you want it. Next, watch out for a cash for houses scam. Again, this is seller education. I really like this part because it keeps the seller aware, and from what I've noticed, it helps lower their guard, especially whenever they get on the phone with you. So lowball offers, beware of pressure tactics, so sales tactics, so don't try to unethically, I should say, hard close people. Hidden fees and deal cancellations, they'll cancel on you last minute. People wouldn't want to do price reductions 2 days before closing, title fraud. That's something that I almost fell into. So yeah. And then, like I said, frequently asked questions, put pictures of you here, put this however you want, review your sales calls, your appointments with sellers, and see what they are asking, put them down here. And finally, another thing that we have on our website that's a completely different page is a JV opportunities section, which is something we're going to talk about here shortly. But basically, with our clients, they eventually start to close deals. We'll have them come out to Austin, Texas, where I'm based out of, to do a podcast. And from there are a bunch of people, maybe like you watching this, that might have a deal under contract right now, but you can't find a buyer. For example, if I connect you with another client in Florida or Texas or California or Georgia, whatever the market is, they're going to have buyers. And you guys, as a result, can JV and everybody wins, right? And the benefit for my client is that they get free deal flow at a $0 acquisition cost, and everything above that is profit. So this is like infinitely scalable, right? And for you, the viewer watching this, you get a deal sold and you get paid. Everybody wins. I don't get a cut of this or anything. This is just something that we do. We've noticed that it has added anywhere from $20,000 and $30,000 per month in pure profit for our clients. And as a result, to just increase their ad spend, and the case study for me just looks even better, and you get to watch that. Everybody's happy. There's pretty much no loss. So this, you just copy it. Property address, obviously it has our autofill. Is the property under contract? What is the property under contract for? This one thing, I've had mixed feelings about this. We can either get like a question or we do it as a open. It's something we're actively testing right now because sometimes people lie about this and they don't know what this means. So we just get them to fill something out. That way we have a range. And then whenever we get on the phone with them, they send us the contract, we verify, right? So it's something I'm actively testing. Seller contact, property ARV, estimated repairs, JV partners. So you, the viewer watching this, that would actually want to JV with their clients, and then any additional notes, right? So this is something that we have on our client's website that has helped out drastically, right? So this is something that I like to get taken care of before a client comes out and actually does a podcast. That way we don't miss any opportunities, right? Leave no money unturned or left behind. Anyways, now, what is the objective of this website? We have three. The first thing is to instantly establish trust through testimonials and social proof pictures. So whether it's you working with a seller, testimonials with the seller at the closing table, deals, how you help the seller, things like that. The only thing that matters is proof. We just want to put proof on the website. The second thing is educating and taking the seller through the levels of awareness. So this is problem awareness, solution awareness, etc. Right? So another thing, and how we do that, by calling out the avatar, so people going through foreclosure, people who can't make their mortgage payments, things of that sort. And second thing is prospect education. Final thing is, as I just mentioned, JV opportunities and be able to establish relationships with wholesalers, agents, and buyers. If you're trying to reach out to an agent to help you, get in contact with a buyer because they're on one of the comps, as an example, sometimes they'll ask you for a website, right? Because some agents don't even like wholesalers. So what we do is we'll send them a website. The website looks good. They see we're legit, and they're more likely to do business with us, which is good, right? Now, one thing I do want to mention is that with the right tracking systems involved, you're going to notice how helpful a great website is when it comes to converting sellers. So we have softwares like Hotjar, where we can track like heat maps, where sellers click, where they spend the most time, what they're looking or reading at the most. And this gives us feedback as to what's working and what's not. In addition to that, right, the branding and seller education, because sometimes prospects, sellers in this case, don't know. So whenever we're able to educate them, they trust us more, and we're more likely to earn their business, right? So, like I said, 5 stages of awareness. They're unaware. They've never heard about you. They're problem aware. They're going through foreclosure and they know they need help. For solution aware, they are aware that there is a solution out there. They don't have to go work with a real estate agent or a broker. So that's where they find out about cash buyers. Then there's product aware. In this case, we're not offering a product. We are offering a service, right? So they're aware about how you can help them, whether it's through wholesale, novations, credit finance, whatever the case is. And then most aware, this is pretty much, they're on the phone with you. They have all the information and they're pretty damn close to making a decision. With that said, another thing, the website itself is just a digital business card. Without it, it's completely irrelevant, right? Because if you just have a website and nobody goes to it, it doesn't really benefit you. So whenever you're running ads, people are going to eventually search up your website. If you're doing business, you're putting out content, people are going to see that you're legit. So this is why I believe having a website is so important and so helpful for us to actually get results. So with that said, I want to share exactly how we ensure that we are outranking our competitors, specifically on Google, getting eyeballs on our page that actually build brands, trust, as well as get us deals. So with that said, let's talk about what I believe is the next meta of wholesale marketing and my execution plan that we're using for our clients. 2 things. Number 1 is website and SEO. Second thing is podcast and content. So this is what we're going to be implementing. Let's start with SEO. What is SEO? SEO, if you don't know it, is search engine optimization. Basically, the goal of this is to rank you and your business, your website, on top of Google. That way, whenever someone searches, "Sell my house as is for cash in Dallas, Texas," you're going to be the top search. Not in regards to ads, but organic search, right? So our current project is AI SEO. So how can we rank our clients and their businesses on top within AI platforms like Claude, Grok, GPT, etc. Right? That's what we want, because at the end of the day, they technically all pull their data from search engines like Google, right? So that's what we're working on right now. The objective of this is very simple. We want to rank the highest, like I said, when someone triggers specific keywords on search engines. Like I said, "Sell my house as is for cash." The catch about this, because there's always a catch, SEO is a longer term branding play, right? It's going to take a lot longer than direct to seller, direct response marketing like PPC or Facebook ads, because it's branding. So it takes more time. So a simple SEO playbook that we always start with a Google My Business listing and verification. If you don't know what that is, it's like one of these like cards things you see on Google that pops up about your business. Super easy to set up. It's free too. And then you get that thing verified to make sure you're a legit established business. Second thing is an SEO optimized website. So there's 4 things that we look for. We want to talk about who we are and who we serve, what we do, how we help, and where we work. That's the easiest way. You want to make sure that is plastered all over your website. That way Google cross-checks it and ranks you higher for the right keywords. Second thing is user experience or user interface. We want to make sure the website's simple, it's minimal, it's clean, has great loading speeds. That way Google actually incentivizes and boosts your website. Simple one. Backlinks and content. You want to be creating backlinks as well as content, blogs, articles, whatever the case is, as to how you can help, right? Final thing, reviews and testimonials. The more reviews you get, the higher you get boosted. The more testimonials you get, the more sellers are willing to trust you, because technically these reviews are older people. They're also old, so there's a sense of relatability, which creates influence. And final thing with SEO is that you got to be consistent with it and have longer time horizons. With Google PPC, you can have like 30 to 60 day time horizons. With SEO, you need 6, 8, 12 month time horizons. So you're spending all this money. Maybe you're doing it yourself, or most people are hiring an agency like us to do it. We set the expectation that it takes 6 to 12 months to get results, to start to get results with SEO. Now, let's talk about our podcast strategy. There's 2 objectives that we have with the podcast strategy. The first one is top of funnel organic awareness and nurturing. So if you look at any of the other podcasts on our channel after this video, you'll notice, at least what I've noticed, is our best podcast has had a hero storyline, education, and a call to action. Perfect example is this guy, Brent. We've seen Brent a lot on our page, and I'll tell you why I believe his content has done really well. He's gotten so many deals from this strategy. He has a storyline, a rags to riches story. He started doing power lines, then he quit to do become a real estate agent. Then he did roofing sales, worked for a wholesaler, and then he branched off and did his own. So he has a storyline with struggles. He was vulnerable. He has a storyline, which is what most people can relate to, right? And then he educated. He shared his sales process, how he closes deals, who he closes deals with, his JV strategies, etc. Final thing is a call to action. There's a call to action to reach out to him and do deals with him, which is why he's doing really well, right? So this is my framework going to podcast of what I brief our clients on to make sure that we're maximizing their time on this podcast. The second thing about this is the call to action to the client website. So his website, another client's website, which as a result creates endless lead flow, deal flow, and opportunities. So he has more leads than he knows what to do with. And my proof of this is that Not only does Brent do deals where somebody can bring him a contract and he'll work to dispo and get a cut of it, but people will submit leads to him and he will call and close those people. The split on that's like 70-30. It's nuts, right? So yeah. And obviously you can see people are reaching out to him for sales coaching, things like that. We did a masterclass for like 3 hours that did really, really well. A lot of people got a lot of value out of it. Some of our clients even came from this. So this is what we're going to be doing going to next year with more of our clients, because not only do I want to build my brand with our clients, but showcase what I've done for other clients and how they can help viewers like you, right? So let's talk about the math behind this. If you just get at least one deal per month for $15,000, that's $15,000 per month in pure profit from one investment on your time. This is leverage, right? You get more out for what you put in. Brett drove to Austin from Dallas to spend 2 days with us. One was a podcast, one was a masterclass, and he has endless opportunities. Money and brand building, to me, that's high leverage. So with that said, ads alone, direct to seller marketing itself, it works, but it works better when supplemented with a solid website that is ranked on SEO and content that's building your brand. So from my experience, brand is how others perceive you, like what they say behind your back. And this, as a result, if it's a good brand, is going to give you outsized, massive opportunities in all of your businesses and ventures. My goal here is to dominate markets with our clients, win more deals, build a following, and not just close deals, but actually make an impact. Now, I believe branding is going to get us there, which is why I create videos like this. So if you are a real estate investor, you're closing 2 deals per month or more, you're ready to scale with not only inbound marketing, PPC or Facebook ads, but you're ready to build your brand and truly dominate your market, because everybody says they want to dominate their market, but they don't really know what that means. There's a link in the description. Click it, schedule a call with me. It's going to be with me directly. I'm more than happy to walk you through exactly how this entire process works, and we can take the exact playbook that we did for our clients right now and implement it into your company. So with that said, click the link, schedule a call. I will see you there. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.